Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm on location at my backyard actually, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit weird, a little bit different here, but I'll just kind of take you around and show you what I've got set up here. Alright, so I finally got staked down here, but this is basically just a simple two-person hunting blind. Here's the opening, it's a little zippered opening. Obviously I have it facing the way of the bird feeders. And so I'm going to take some photos probably tomorrow morning of both feeder photos and then on my nearby tree over here. I feel like that'll work out pretty well. But it's just going to be a nice little simple, I'll wake up before sunrise and then creep into this. But I have the bird feeders fully stocked, well stocked with both different kinds of flavors of suet. Got some black oil sunflower seeds. And then for mainly the finches and such, got this little thistle feeder. Some kind of seed there, and so yeah, it just gives some time overnight. Hopefully the birds get acclimated to it just in time for the morning, and then they can finally come over here and feed. Get some, hopefully some nice decent maybe even frame filling kind of photographs here as I sit in this blind with my telephoto lens and such. So looking forward to it. Should be a nice little morning, and if not, I might come back at the end of the day and get some kind of golden hour photos with the sunset light. So we'll see, but until then, I'll see you in the morning. Alright, so I'm fully hunkered down the blind now. I got here just a little bit before sunrise, just so I can get some sufficient lighting if I photograph any potential birds that I may see over here. And so far I'm not seeing too much. I'm hearing tons of bird song, as you would typically would do during the early morning here. But yeah, I'm just gonna patiently wait here, and hopefully something comes of it. Definitely gonna be, I like to think so. One other important thing I wanted to add is kind of contrary to popular belief when you're in a sort of a wildlife blind such as this, is that you actually don't want to wear camouflage, like real tree kind of camouflage. Is you actually want to wear solid black, because with the birds or any kind of mammals or wildlife, what they see looking into here, they only see darkness, and they want to see solid black. So you typically want to wear just solid black clothing. I find that works the best, and at least that's what I've pretty much always done. And camouflage would actually, in contrast, stick out more when you're inside a blind like this. But I'm just gonna wait here. I already got my settings dialed on my camera here, and then hopefully something will come of it and we get a photo or two. The nice thing is this crabapple tree that's situated right by the water fountain is fully bloomed at this time of year, so should make for some beautiful kind of bouquet, or just like a nice background if any potential backyard birds perch on it. So looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm just thinking that the fully bloomed tree may be a gift and a curse, simply because it could also obscure, it could add too much kind of distractions and kind of visual noise to any potential images of birds perched on there, and it just may mean that it'd be simply harder to see them as well. But typical backyard birds I'm gonna potentially see red-winged blackbirds. There's a couple that live around here, or at least that are commonly come to the feeders. Just typical common varieties. All your residents pretty much are the only ones that really visit my feeders. You got potentially non-native species like house sparrow, but then you also got native stuff like tufted titmouse, blue jay, Carolina chickadees, northern cardinals, mourning doves. At least in the spring summertime, you get brown-headed cowbirds a lot here. May potentially see a woodpecker, like a red-bellied woodpecker. Those are pretty common. At least sometimes I see them seldomly at these feeders over here. And then other than that, those are the main ones that I pretty much see. Other than that, there's every once in a while you get something a little bit different, but those are the main varieties. Maybe if we get lucky, it could be a hawk or something, like a Cooper's hawk that may swoop down and flush the feeders if it happens to be really busy. But so far, a whole lot of nothing. And I mean, that's just kind of the name of the game here. You just kind of, instead of me going out to a location and with the gear and everything and being on foot, moving around, this is a lot more patience and just waiting. So I hear all the bird songs, so it's gotta come here sooner or later. Yeah, we will see. Alright, so the sun's really coming up pretty fast now. It looks like it's gonna be a clear blue sky day, which means my lighting conditions are very short-lived here, but I have got a decent amount of both photo and video footage. So northern cardinals. The first visitor is actually a downy woodpecker on a suet cage that's just kind of isolated in between. It's kind of like right next to the tree, and unfortunately my settings weren't quite dialed up, so it underexposed what could have been a really amazing image of a downy woodpecker, real up close shot, a little bit less than 600 millimeters, but it just didn't work out, so I had to trash it. And other than that, American robin with a fenced wooden fence backdrop, which worked out pretty well as it was perched on a surrounding tree. And then right now I'm seeing this eastern tree squirrel who's just feeding on what's below the bird feeders, what falls on the ground or whatever. So he's just kind of feasting right there. And then other than that, it's been pretty much it so far. Still hearing tons of bird song, as you can probably hear, but don't know what else could potentially come over here. I'm just trying to be real patient and just kind of wait it out. Every once in a while I'm scanning the crabapple tree, just making sure there isn't anything up there. Sometimes something will flit in or fly in and you wouldn't even hear it because they just don't make a call simply. And so, especially something smaller, like maybe like a chickadee or something. But yeah, I'm just simply waiting. So far, not too much else at the moment. Just want to show you my settings, what I have currently. So I'm on high speed continuous. Most modern DSLRs allow you to use that feature, which just means you can it's pretty much like a burst mode. So it's pretty much essential for doing this kind of thing like wildlife and such. And then I'm also on Al Servo in case any birds fly away and I get a shot of it. That just means that it doesn't lock focus one time. It tracks the focus of a fast moving bird like this, whereas it just flies to and from different kinds of branches. And then I have a pretty slow shutter as far as I'm concerned, which could result in some blurring. Well, it actually has in a couple photos, but at 200th of a second. And then f6.3, which is just letting the aperture be wide open so I can let as much light as possible, which I pretty much need at the moment, simply because, as you can probably tell, sunlight's all the way in those trees in the background, but it's not really dropped down and hit this as if it was directly overhead, like midday light. And then as a result, I've had to increase my ISO to not so much comfortable levels, what I would like to be. So I'm at ISO 2000, which is pretty high up there, so unfortunately that's just the way I'm going to take these photos. And then you just have to kind of denoise them later on in post-production, but that's okay. So I think that's going to conclude the morning here. The real nice thing about doing a photo blind such as this is that you can simply, if it's in your own kind of, I guess, private property or your backyard or wherever, you can just leave it set up like I'm going to do here, and it's a lot more kind of relaxed and casual than let's say a typical on location shoot where I'm at a location and I only have so many hours of daylight to be there and to really check it out. But in this case, I can just simply leave it set up as is, bring the camera inside, and just drop in, drop out whenever I want to throughout the day or days or however long you want to spend. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back out at the end of the day and see if I can take advantage of that golden hour light, like I said before, and hopefully the birds will be a little bit more active this evening, because there wasn't too many, at least that I could find today. Other notable ones are I saw a pretty good look at a blue jay real up close, a few more cardinals, lots of squirrels. Squirrels are probably the biggest thing that I saw. So yep, I'll see you probably at the end of the day, and hopefully something good comes of it. But until then, I'm just gonna go back inside. Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we go again, round two. It's kind of in the evening here. There's about 2 hours left until sunset, so the lighting is getting more directional. Obviously the more overhead lighting will be less attractive in that case, but it's starting to get a little bit more, much more pleasant lighting as it sets on the other side of the blind here. There's a lot more wind that's picking up as well, but hoping for the best. Hopefully we can make the most of this. I missed it. This chickadee landed on the crab tree. He's taunting me. These little songbirds are just so fast, and it's just makes things a little more difficult, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty, everyone, that's going to conclude my backyard little adventure here, really, with the wildlife blind. I feel like it turned out pretty well. Got some nice shots of up in the crabapple tree with the little pink blooms of some tufted titmouse. It was very nice. Got quite a few animated photos. There were some pretty nice isolated portraits of some tree squirrels, and other than that, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, doing these little wildlife blinds are kind of interesting. Honestly, it's one of those things that's pretty nice to bring, some food and drink, and to really just kind of hunker down and not have to leave that blind for pretty much the entire day. Or like what I did, you can break it up into different chunks of time throughout the day and just kind of periodically visit, like I did in the early morning and late evening here. But I feel like it turned out pretty well. It's definitely something I'll be doing a lot more, or even setting up artificial perches if I wanted to, and then have it right next to all the different kinds of, the bird seed or whatever. So it's a very nice, yeah, little experiment to try out. Nice little thing if you can't leave the house for whatever reason, and it's a nice way to try some wildlife photography here. So thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been my backyard with the photo blind, and until next time, make sure to get out to your backyard and to photograph, your local backyard wildlife, whether it be squirrels, any kind of mammals, deer, depending on your kind of habitat or where you live and such, and especially birds and different kinds of songbirds. So thank you, guys. Have a good day.